guys? Welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike and he's Jay, and our final X-Men review is going to be X-Men Origins Wolverine. We're not going to do First Class because this is all in lead up to the James Mangold's Wolverine coming out this Thursday, and Wolverine has nothing to do with First Class, so that's why we're going to save that movie for Days of Future Past, which is going to be fucking hopefully awesome.
Epic!
Yeah, so X-Men...
Look at that face. That face right there tells you, like, this is what happens when you get hemorrhoids.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah.
And just so you guys know, these are spoiler reviews. We're counting on the fact that you've probably seen these movies before if you're watching this. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, what happens in this movie is, I mean, it's about the whole thing with Stryker. It's about they show Wolverine and Sabretooth, and they make this weird storyline where they're brothers and they're half brothers, and then they go through all these wars together. Which that scene from the opening scene,
I like that.
It was sweet. I
But
mean,
the only thing is,
cool.
even got to me, I was like, Wolverine's Canadian. So why is he in the Civil War? Why is he in the American Civil War? But that was cool. But it goes through each time. But then at the end, when Sabretooth's going, like he's like doing it, he's like,
he does that thing with his claws. He's like,
yeah. I mean, Wolverine like looks at him. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, you don't have to growl, man. But I don't know. I think the best part about this movie really was Liv Schreiber as fucking Sabretooth. Like,
they really humanized him, and Liv Schreiber, Cotton Weary, is a great character.
He's a great character. So, but I don't like the fact that there's so many goddamn plot holes in this. Goddamn,
yeah.
I'm ready to start. One thing is, towards the end of the movie, Wolverine finally gets recruited to go ahead and he saves all these mutants. And Cyclops is one of these mutants that he saves, but he has a blindfold on his fucking face, so he doesn't know it's Wolverine. Okay, but he also fucking rescues a bunch of other mutants like Emma Frost and all of them. All these other mutants. And nobody ever mentioned that Wolverine was there. And Professor Xavier rescues him at the end of the movie with the helicopter.
Does nobody remember Wolverine?
Yeah,
I mean, you forgot the guy with the claws coming out of his hands in the future movies.
He's not important. So.
Yeah, and then you got the weird, like awkward. First, you got the Stryker story, which will go off that. You got that weird moon goddess chick that he's dating.
Why did the wolf cry at the moon? Because I can't have sex with you right now.
She was so damn hot and so damn annoying at the same time because she made Wolverine such a bitch.
Yeah, well, remember she also had that power where she could touch them and like make them.
I guess that is true. That is true. But at the same time, like Wolverine pre-X-Men, this is a prequel. Wolverine pre-X-Men, before Professor Xavier and Cyclops calm him down, he's supposed to be like a rabid animal. And you never got the sense of that.
That's one thing I didn't understand with the Wolverine, the movie X-Men Origins, because when I think of Wolverine before he joined the X-Men, he was like a murderer for hire. I mean, I'm not saying he was a complete bad guy, but he would do anything. Like, it was just like no matter what it was, he'll fucking do it. He just didn't care.
He loved him.
But he's like a big teddy bear. He's like, I just want to be loved.
Yeah.
Stop it, Sabretooth.
And
it's like, seriously, I mean, Sabretooth was more Wolverine than Wolverine was Wolverine.
Yeah, and the badass scenes at the beginning, I like the scenes at the beginning where, like, he's a mercenary and he's a badass soldier, but he's not going to stand for Sabretooth, like,
that actually, I do like that.
I dig that, and I dig that the fact that the scenes with, other than, like you said, Will.I.am, his character's stupid.
He probably thought of that song when they were walking together. He's like, oh, when I walk in the club, all eyes on us. Like, he just like, he was pointless. He was the most pointless character in the, no, actually, I'll take that back. The most pointless character in that movie, for me, was Lightbulb Man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just said...
The guy from Lost?
The Lost guy. He was like, okay, when you see him first, he's controlling a black jet or whatever, flying into South America or whatever it was, or Africa. And he can do all this pretty cool stuff. But then he's like in a circus and he's like making light bulbs glow really bright. And then he just sits there and takes it when Sabretooth's like, I'm going to put it in your butt. He's like, okay. I mean, make a fucking light bulb glow bright and hurt his eyes or something. I don't know.
I know, at least try. Well, I mean that scene was okay because you got that tense moment between the two of them. But at the same time, like, you've got that original crew there where Stryker runs them. And you've got Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, what they fucked up. We'll get into that later. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, he's the perfect Deadpool.
You know what, when I watched it last night, the thing was with Deadpool and the way Ryan Reynolds portrayed him, it's almost like how he portrayed the character in Blade Trinity.
Yeah, just a smart ass.
But it's more of a upbeat, smart aleck kind of like relaxed humor.
Great, he would have been even better. If he had his own movie like they've been talking about, he would have been even better if it was more R-rated, more off the script, more craziness. He would have been even better. But you get the sense from that little blurb right there that Ryan Reynolds would be a badass Daredevil, or not Daredevil, would be a badass Deadpool. That would be awesome. So I love the Ryan Reynolds part of this
the whole
movie.
thing was like, when he was on the plane, he was like, I mean, I know a sword's not as good as bone claws or fingernails of a homeless lady. But, I mean, it was just like, you could not have picked a better Deadpool. You couldn't have.
That movie's got to be made, guys. It has to be made.
But you know, and then you get into what happens with him later. But fuck, we'll get to that later.
So then Wolverine gets pissed because they're doing like genocidal type shit over there, and he moves on or whatever. But then he finds this moon goddess bitch, and she kind of makes him kind of a flake.
wussy.
Yeah, and then he's in the woods. It is funny to see him on the back of that truck with an axe, you know. He's like, but then Stryker comes to find him, and he's like, blah 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 blah. Sabretooth's killing people, and then all of a sudden Sabretooth kills his woman, and then you've got this terrible corny scene. Like that's an emotional moment. I get it, but that corny, awful, terrible scene where he's in the woods and he literally drops down to his knees, points at the sky, and screams, "No!"
Well, I think he did do that in X-Men Last Stand with Jean Grey, but he didn't do it as bad.
It wasn't as
He
bad.
went over
This
the
was
top.
so corny. And then
But I didn't like the whole thing when he goes to the hospital after. I didn't get that. Like, Sabretooth breaks his bone claws. Like, he steps on them, and those things are supposed to be like fucking, like, really, not indestructible, but they're supposed to be hard. He steps on them, he breaks them, then he goes to the hospital, and then Stryker's like, he wakes up, it's so quick, he's like, he wakes up, and then Stryker's in the door, he's like, I can help you. Okay.
I mean, he was there all along.
I know, but then he's like, I can give you the tools to defeat him.
Yeah.
It's just so really bad writing.
But that fight scene was badass.
Oh, that fight scene was great.
When he's sitting in the bar and he was like, "You got insurance on this place?" And he's like, scratches like, "Dude, you got big fucking claws."
that Liv Schreiber,
that fight scene with the logs, all that shit was awesome.
Liv Schreiber did great with his job. He's
really
way fucking better than Tyler Mane. Way fucking better.
Yeah, I mean, because he was given a chance to be.
The only thing I didn't like about him was like he's like why did you have to run on all fours? I mean, you don't have to do that. Just
that was kind of.
I wanted to see him like just walk towards Wolverine like Tong Po in Bloodsport. Like,
I would have liked the slight mix of the Tyler Mane Sabretooth in Cotton Weary, like a little bit more hairier,
I think
a little bit more like rabid, rather than running on all fours. And
I think he was still kind of. The one thing about Liv Schreiber that I will say for him, he was intimidating as Sabretooth.
He was. That's
and he had that aura about him, like don't fuck with me. I'll
the look wasn't completely there, but you're right. He had a perfect
so that
look.
was good. They did a perfect job with casting him.
Other mutants though,
Will.i.am is awful in this. Blob's in this, and he's like
nothing.
I mean, he's funny. Like he's got funny lines.
It's cool to see him, but it's just kind of like a gimmick. Like, oh, we're gonna show you Blob, and then we're gonna.
That goes back to Last Stand, though. You're just throwing in all these characters, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy from this happening, and then Gambit's. It's the same thing when you go to Gambit.
And you're gonna have Wolverine box him. Like that's just like saying we don't know really how to make a cool fight scene.
And then he's like, you called me fat? Oh, I mean, it's like.
That guy's a good actor, but still.
No, he is. He's a great actor.
And then, like you said, Will.i.am stupid and Gambit. We gotta talk about Gambit.
Okay, Gambit. Taylor Kitsch.
I love Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch is
Friday Night Lights, son.
He has got so fucking unlucky with his movie roles. Like he's just been. And Gambit was. Oh, I don't mind Taylor Kitsch as Gambit. It was just the fact that they just threw him in to throw him in. Like,
I like Taylor Kitsch a lot, man, but I don't like him as Gambit.
I didn't
He's
mind
too
him.
short and stocky. Gambit's tall and thin. Like
no, I mean you can. Move
He's muscular,
You can move it around a little bit. I mean,
I just didn't look like him, and he's not Cajun enough.
Well, he tried.
Yeah, he didn't do a bad job, but he just doesn't fit that role.
But the whole thing, it was just like he was kind of Wolverine's bitch. Like they fought at first, and Wolverine was like, "Shut up! I gotta kill my brother."
Yeah,
So
like Gambit needs to be a fucking badass.
Gambit, yeah. Now I think they should have just waited for Gambit. I don't think they should. I honestly, and I love Deadpool. I think they should have also waited for Deadpool. I wouldn't have rushed him in a movie either.
I was waiting for Taylor Kitsch to do what he did in Battleship and just run through the streets and be like, "Chicken burrito!"
Yeah, but you're right, dude. They threw him in.
They kind of made Gambit a kind of a bitch who had this awesome stick, rather than
I have an awesome stick.
rather than Gambit who has an awesome badass personality and throws cards of fire.
But that scene was pretty cool. Like the special effects when he throws the cards, but it was almost like it was just a fan service. It was like, oh, check this out. He's got cards and he can make them blow up.
We gave you Gambit. Love us. So yeah, they fucked.
You know, that was the director. He was like, the movie's not doing very well, but he's like, I put Gambit in it, so.
What? Yeah, I mean, at least they tried to give us Gambit finally.
Yeah, but I mean, it really tied into bigger holes in the whole fucking overall story.
Yeah.
Because Gambit, why didn't Gambit appear at all in the other X-Men movies when he hears about all this other shit going on? Like, it's, God, stop, stop.
I did enjoy the scenes with Strikers pumping the metal into him though, and they're like,
cool.
you're never gonna feel pain like this. They really gave us that scene and showed us what that moment would have been like, and that comes out of the water. He's never seemed so corny before when he comes out of the water. He's like.
Right, Lord. But you know the thing is, I will also say another actor that I thought portrayed him pretty well, Zero. I hated that fucking guy.
Yeah.
As far as like he was just a dickhead, and I'm glad that Wolverine finally put his ass down. It's like Zero, you're dead. So you shoot me. I mean, it's like I don't even know why Stryker sent him anyway. I mean,
it's so stupid that Wolverine jumps on top of a helicopter and that whole scene.
I still like that scene. I don't know.
I thought it was so.
I just thought it was fun because he's like he gets on what was it, a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he's like riding his motorcycle.
It's like Hard Target when John Malkovich stands on.
Check this out, guys. I'm gonna pop a wheelie on this car and I'm gonna slice this fucking helicopter in half. And you're like, yeah, okay. It was like fucking Stuntman Dave.
Yeah, and then of course, so we go to the end of the movie, and then you've got the whole Stryker's lab, people coming out of the woodworks, twist left and right.
Well, this is
Moon
getting
Goddess
serious
back.
right here though, because Deadpool.
You fucking did what?
I know. His mouth is sewn up and he's like stupid. Like
The best part about Deadpool is his big fucking mouth, and you sewed it shut.
you're like, when you watch that movie, you're like, oh, Deadpool, cool. We're gonna have a fight scene with Deadpool and Wolverine. You're like, what?
It said he looks like one of the dolls from Silent Hill.
Yeah, and he has a fucking, and his swords come out of his fucking hands. The sword's longer than his fucking forearm. How does that happen? It was like, what is it, like curled up in like a little ball, and then it just comes.
It's like,
His
hey,
freaking arm is longer or is shorter than the samurai sword.
what did we get right in this movie? Deadpool. How can we fuck that up?
But so his mouth shut.
Let's melt him.
And he's also got all the powers of the fucking other mutants. He can like teleport. I knew he can teleport. Deadpool can teleport. That's not a lie. But he's got fucking laser beams that come up his eye. He can control that. He got the Cyclops.
It's badass that they staged this final fight between Deadpool and Wolverine. Really cool. But they just fucked Deadpool. That wasn't Deadpool. That was not Deadpool.
Even Ryan Reynolds.
That was the Tim Burton character.
When he's like, Wade, I guess they finally got you to shut up. And he's like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, how badass would it have been just to like say, all right, we're gonna show Deadpool like how he really is. They did all this surgery on him, so he's fucked up, and now he's even crazier than he ever was before. He's got this healing factor. He's got all this stuff, but he's like nuts, and he's funny as shit. Like you could, oh my god, what you could have done with him. And then they have the big fight scene at the end. It's like I just got so tired of Sabretooth and Wolverine is like back to back. Like, and then all that shit happens, and they they finally decapitate Deadpool, and he does that. That was so stupid. Like the whole eyes opening as it's going down, and then Sabretooth's like, "Well, I guess I got to go." He's like, "I'll be back," or whatever. They have that like little standoff moment. He just jumps off the edge. He's like, "Okay, well, see ya."
See ya.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a big gulp.
Good. Give me one.
So I mean, all in all, for me, this movie, they brought us some of the goods. They tried. I mean, they tried to bring us Gambit. They tried to bring us Deadpool, and then Deadpool worked for a moment. They tried to bring out some really cool shit about Wolverine's past. Hugh Jackman tried really hard. Sabretooth was really cool.
I love him.
I love what they attempted to do with this movie. I like where their heart was at, where their head was at. They just fucked it up. I'm gonna give it a 6.0.
I'm gonna give this movie a 5.5 actually,
Yeah,
because
I can see
the special effects were cool for me. I liked some of the special effects, but what they did with the characterizations of Deadpool and what they did with some of the other ones, like Blob having him there, Will.i.am, like his fucking gifts, and the guy with the light bulbs. It's like this is so stupid.
They had
like,
the right ideas and the best characters. They was just poorly.
I really think what they should have done is I love the special effects. Like I said, I just think they should have taken the whole movie and said, you know what, let's make this a dark Wolverine story.
Yeah.
Let's make it a rated R movie. Let's go balls out and just make him a dark character, maybe unlikable at first. Maybe you can't really even relate to Wolverine until maybe then you can introduce the girl that he starts falling in love with, and then he starts changing. That's fine. I can do that. But other than that, I just didn't like.
I would love to see Wolverine fight the Hulk. I don't know where that came from.
That Wolverine versus that's a huge comic book.
It's supposed to be his first,
appearance.
God, dude, how bad would you, I know it's not going to happen, but how bad would you shit your pants if Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk popped up in Wolverine?
I would have to have like 3 pairs of underwear.
I know, right? It's not going to happen. But so that brings me to the question of the day, guys. What is your pre-rating for the Wolverine movie coming out this week?
My pre-rating, I'm gonna say based on at first I didn't. I'm gonna say 7.5 to 8.0.
I'm gonna say 8.5. Dude, Walk the Line's one of my favorite movies ever, and I just the trailers do not look that good to me. From what I'm hearing that they did to it, they made it dark and they made it really humanistic.
Which is good, yeah.
That's what I want in a Wolverine movie. So hopefully they don't spend too much time explaining shit that we already.
As long as they don't go too much on his emotional bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean that's fine.
You need that, but
that's fine. But I want to see his rage. Like I want to see like what Wolverine is unleashed.
Yes.
That's Wolverine. Yes. That's how you did.
Do you want to suck my cock, berserker?
I'm not gonna go any further.
So, I'm Mike, he's Jay, and we'll see you guys next time on Crying Lampshades.
Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie.